Well, everybody, we're already at this point in the Toronto Blue Jays offseason. It's been just over a week since the Toronto Blue Jays got knocked from the postseason, and already we're getting some scary reports featuring Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and his future. In fact, to literally quote the title of the report, Blue Jays are reaching tipping point on Guerrero's future. You're gonna want to strap in, guys, because this is gonna be a good one.
Oh, here we go again.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're going to talk about this most recent report and discuss Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as a whole and what his future with the Toronto Blue Jays might actually look like. Before we do, I encourage you guys to hit the subscribe button down below if you enjoy Blue Jays baseball content and just general discussion so you don't miss any future videos. All right, guys, let's get into it. So Vladdy, as we know, is coming off of a bit of a down year. The guy hit for a .264 batting average, had 26 home runs, all good for an OPS of 788. And listen, before I go any further, I do just want to come out and say that those numbers are pretty decent. At the end of the day, 788 OPS is still good, you know, and Guerrero literally had 94 RBIs, and that is absolutely nothing to scoff at. So if we just zoom out and look at the numbers on a page, I mean, like, they were pretty solid. The reason that it doesn't feel very solid, though, is because his name is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We are talking about the most highly touted prospect that we'd seen in decades, and a dude who in 2021 was looking like he was about to go on a Barry Bonds level run. So to go from that to where we are right now, it's leaving Toronto Blue Jays fans with a pretty sour taste in their mouth, which ultimately brings us to where we are right now. Baseball insider Buster Olney says Vlad, with his salary climbing through arbitration, is reaching the tipping point. This is where teams begin to say, we can start to replace this. I do think this is going to be the winter where you can start to have this conversation as he starts to near free agency. And the conversation that Olney is referring to right now is potentially trading Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
What the fuck?
I know, everybody. If I would have said that a year ago, I would have got laughed out of the room and just canceled in general from Toronto Blue Jays fans. But now, looking at what he's done in the past few seasons and considering he is coming up on free agency, this is a conversation that analysts are really starting to take seriously. Olney goes on to say that if you aren't going to sign him to a big, massive contract, you don't want him to walk away and get nothing in return. You want to make sure you get some value in return, 75 cents on the dollar or whatever it is, if you don't feel like you're going to invest in him. Based on what happened the past couple of years, it would be pretty hard to throw $150 million at him. Dude, actually think about what I just said there. It would be hard to throw $150 million at him. I still remember when Toronto Blue Jays fans wanted to throw $300+ million at Guerrero, and now it looks like he might not even get a George Springer level contract. And it's crazy to say, but Olney, even though I don't agree with everything that he's coming out and saying, he is making a few good points. If the Toronto Blue Jays management really look at Vladdy's body of work, then yeah, he might not be a $150 million guy. And if you're the Blue Jays, you really got to look at Guerrero and decide, is this the dude that you want to build your team around for the next decade? Do you want to throw the money at him, or would it be better if you did send him away and try to find that franchise player elsewhere? And I think what Olney said is just backed up further by what Mark Shapiro came out and said in his press conference very recently.
Whoa, time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Someone asked Mark Shapiro about the possible extensions of Bo and Vlad, and Mark declined to get specific and said that the priority is just to sustain the opportunity to win. And look, of course the priority is to sustain the opportunity to win, but this is basically the first time that he's been asked that question, and he didn't immediately come out and say, like, yeah, these are our guys and we want them back. We've specifically heard them in the past come out and say that Bo and Vlad are their guys, so to hear this vague-like response, it just really puts some fuel onto the fire as to whether or not Guerrero is going to be here long-term. And even Blue Jays fans are feeling it too. The first tweet that pops up in response to this is Blue Jays Domain saying, not exactly what you want to hear when it comes to extending your young guns. Ultimately, folks, I think that Buster Olney is onto something, and I think that this is the first offseason where a Guerrero trade or life without Vladdy that's something that's seriously gonna get thought about. Now, if I was a betting man, I would say that the Jays are probably gonna hold on to him. I doubt that they're gonna receive a super crazy offer for him right now, considering how he performed last year, but this is also baseball, right? And crazier things have happened. We're gonna need to follow this Guerrero storyline very closely, folks, because this offseason is gonna be absolutely huge for him. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jays go!